Welcome to Master Otis's No Death Budget Ubers. For this challenge, I wanted to push the limits of one of Diablo's most famous endgame contents, the Pandemonium Uber event bosses. To make it fun, I threw down the gauntlet to PvP streamer Coooley, who also had some insane D2 content on the fastest world record Uber clear this game has to offer. The goal was simple: clear all 6 Uber bosses without dying with the cheapest build possible. For added spice, we also gave ourselves a 10-minute window to complete this task, and the build needed to clear 2 consecutive Uber runs to rule out the possibility of a lucky run. As with any challenge, success comes with good planning. For this, I used Maxroll's D2 Planner to select my gear and compare my build to each of the Pandemonium bosses. My main considerations were at least 50% crushing blow for damage, 1 source of open wounds so Ubers couldn't heal, 1 source of life tap to stay alive, 1 source of cannot be frozen to maintain hits with life tap, and max resistances while fighting each Uber, which mostly related to Uber Mephisto, who sports a level 20 Conviction aura, which reduces all resistances by 125. My options for this were the try for 300 all resistances on my gear to counteract the negative 100 resistances for being in Hell difficulty and the 125 from Mephisto's Conviction, or to completely override Meph's Conviction aura with my own. For those unaware, anytime there are competing Paladin auras, the game will select the higher level of the 2, effectively negating the lower. For me, as long as I could achieve a level 21 Conviction aura, I would not need to worry about the extra resistance needed against Uber Mephisto. Diving into my gear selections, I decided to use Black, which the base can be shopped from Farah in Act 2 normal, and Io being the highest rune to complete. This gives the build 40 crushing blow and a little bit of life. Next, we have Kira's, which grants us our source of Cannot Be Frozen, along with a healthy boost to resistances and faster hit recovery. I aim for low statted gear in all my selections, firstly, to help with reducing the overall cost of the build, but secondly, for anyone trying to replicate this, they could get any version of the item and make it work. This Kira's is low at 55 resistances, and according to Pure Diablo Price Checker, I estimate it at around a lemon. Mine is socketed with a P Amethyst, which grants 10 strength. Moving on, I'm using a 26 all resistance amulet, which can be gambled pretty easily using any character over level 70. These amulets can roll up to 30, and as an alternative, players can use the cube recipe to roll an all-res amulet up to 20. Next, we have a 29 Sacred Rondochet with 4 perfect diamonds. While Paladin shields can roll up to 45 resistances with better block and damage, I chose one with under 30 resistances for cost reasons, which I estimate at about a pull rune, and to emphasize that any Hell mode Paladin shield will work. Guardian Angel provides the much needed 1 to Paladin skills to give us the level 21 Conviction aura, along with 15 to max resistances and some added blocking. Mine is close to the lowest enhanced defense for cost reasons, which I estimate at around a co-rune, and is socketed with a shale for some additional faster hit recovery. For gloves, I decided to go with Drax, which was the most expensive part of the build, but grants us our source of life tap as well as open wounds and a little strength. I chose this over a life tap wand, which generally grants a 20-second life tap, or Marowak, which gives a 40-second life tap, because it provided better safety than weapon swapping mid-battle or turning off my Conviction aura against Mephisto to re-life tap. This does come with its risks, so prepare to drink full rejuvenation potions until the life tap procs on your Drax. My pair has the lowest strength bonus with mid stats for defense and lifesteal, which does not apply to a smiter. For those reasons, I estimate this at around an rune. Both rings are strength rings, which can be easily gambled by a level 70 character, and are also completely interchangeable with dexterity rings, as you will need both to wear your gear and achieve max block. Mine are both 17 strength, however, anything in the 15 to 20 range for strength or dexterity will work. The belt I chose was Credendum for 15 all res and 10 to strength and dexterity, which you should be able to acquire for a co-rune. My boots are Goblin Toes, which gives us 25% crushing blow, which I upped to Battle Boots for a little more defense, using the cube recipe of Tal, Shale, and Perfect Diamond, which brings the total cost to about a co-rune. My charms are a 5% faster run walk large charm and a 12% faster hit recovery grand charm, which does help the build reach the 48% breakpoint. On weapon swap, we have a regular teleport staff to help us keep our Uber run under 10 minutes. As you can see, we stat enough strength to wear our gear, enough dexterity to achieve max block, and enough resistances for 90 max while wearing a shield, and positive resistances while teleporting. For skills, we max Smite, Holy Shield, and Conviction, with the remaining points all going into Fanaticism. As for completing Ubers, I recommend starting with Duriel, as most of the time he is right by the portal. If you have to go hunting for him, make sure you lure him away from the other minions before you engage, as some are physical immune and you won't be able to kill. Iswal is another one of the easier Ubers, where the major concerns are teleporting to him safely and high density mobs. If he is surrounded by a lot, then you can always teleport to a safe spot, and generally Iswal will follow you there. After fighting Iswal, I like to repair all my gear and stock up on potions for what I consider the toughest part of the Pandemonium event. Lilith's minions are no joke, so take extreme caution when teleporting, and if you find her with any more than 3 minions next to her, it's best to clear a zone and lure Lilith into it, or slowly clear a path towards her. For Uber Tristram, it's best to switch to your level 21 Conviction aura and tackle Meph first, approaching from the bottom left and drawing him out. As soon as he's dead, you can switch back to Fanaticism for the remainder of the run. Next, I like to approach from the bottom right until Uber Bale teleports over to me. Bale and his Wraith minions both have serious mana drain, so I like to have at least one full belt slot with super mana potions. And lastly, Uber Diablo shouldn't give you too much trouble. While fighting him, you will get swarmed, and once dead, you will need to smite your way out. It did take me a few runs to get used to using a budget Uber character, so I highly encourage testing in softcore before you attempt in hardcore. If you were keeping track of the gear cost, this shook out to 1 rune, 1 pull rune, a lem, and 3 co runes. I have included a link to Coooley's budget Uber Sin so you can see the competition, as well as the unedited Smiter run and my own version of Coooley's Uber Sin. If you need a new challenge, then consider this your invitation to try and build a cheaper character to solo clear all 6 Uber bosses in under 10 minutes without dying. I'd love to check out your build, so please link any max roll contenders in the comments. Otherwise, happy hunting!